Hi everybody, here for my second video. First I want to start off by saying thank you to everybody, every like, comment, and share of my video, all the kind words. It truly made me feel like this was something that I was supposed to do, and it gave me the confidence to make my next video. So I can't thank you guys enough. The love and support was overwhelming, and it just reminded me that I have this disorder for a reason, and that reason is to continue to spread awareness and to educate those who don't know about Tourette syndrome so that we can hopefully live in a world where it's not such a misunderstood, stereotyped disorder. Today's video, or this week's video, is going to be about it's going to be about a question that I was actually asked on my last one. I was asked how I deal with, or I was asked about advice on how to deal with people who stare, people who make ignorant comments, and just how to deal with the people that don't seem to understand what Tourette syndrome really is. That's a really hard question to answer, and it's really hard advice to give because all of our situations are so different and we all want to handle them differently. In every stare, every comment, of course, you always want to react to the person. Your first instinct is to get defensive and to almost yell at the person. And I can't say that I haven't done that or I haven't wanted to do that. But my best advice, I think, would be to let them know what's happening. Get to them before they can get to you, is what I would say. My whole life, I've always been very, very open about my Tourette syndrome. I always wanted people to know what it was. I wanted them to know why I was doing things with my body, why I would roll my eyes to the back of my head, why I would flick my head back uncontrollably. I wanted them to know that there was a reason for it and I wasn't just some weird person flailing my body about. I think being open about it helped me to be a lot more confident in my own skin with having a disorder like this. Every year in school, anytime I was allowed to do a project on a subject of my choosing, I would always choose Tourette syndrome. It was my way of showing my teachers and my classmates that I'm okay with who I am. I'm okay with what my body does. And this is my way of showing you that I want you to be as well. I wanted them to know what Tourette syndrome was. I wanted them to know why I could have possibly been disruptive in class. That it wasn't just me trying to be out of line or to be a bad student. I think doing that led all my classmates to feel more empathy towards me rather than point and laugh or whisper about me behind my back. Because, like I said, I got to them before they got to me. I explained what I was doing before they even had a chance to think think it was weird. I'm not saying that some of them probably didn't. I'm sure there was a lot of people that have thought I was weird for the things that I did. But to those people, I don't care. Their opinions of me, other people's opinions of me never really mattered to me. And I've always felt if somebody couldn't accept me because of my Tourette syndrome, then they weren't worth being in my life to begin with. Tourette syndrome is so hard to handle by itself. It's so hard to deal with something taking complete control over your mind and your body that having people that don't understand and want to make fun of me all the time or question me just wasn't worth having them a part of my life. I would try my best to move on from the ignorant comments I would sometimes hear. And basically I'd say that you need to pick your battles. You need to figure out which ones are worth it and which ones aren't. I know it's way easier said than done to explain to people what Tourette syndrome is, especially a complete stranger. Some days you just don't have the energy to do it. I don't. Sometimes it's just easier to laugh and move on or just ignore that person and move on. It's not worth trying to stand there and explain yourself to a complete stranger, especially when you feel that you shouldn't have to explain yourself, and I completely understand that. But when it comes to telling people that you know, your friends, your teachers, your family, I think it's very important to be honest and open. I know it's difficult, and I know people still won't understand, but the more honest or the more open each of us with Tourette syndrome is, the better understanding more people are going to have, the more awareness we're going to have for our disorder. If we're too afraid to tell everybody what it is that we're doing, we're never going to get the stereotypes erased. Normally, after I tell somebody that I have Tourette syndrome, when I hear them make a joke about Tourette's, they feel more stupid than I do. They feel ignorant for the comments that they've made, and I can always tell. That's why I try to approach the situation gently, depending on who it's with. Because there have been times where I've been around people who are friends of mine that have not known that I had Tourette syndrome yet, or new friends, and that somehow comes up, and I tell them that I have it, and sometimes it's more work than necessary. But I always want every single person that's close to me to know what I have, what I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. I don't want to give anybody leverage over me. Tourette doesn't allow me to control my own body, so I'm not going to allow somebody else to control how I feel about me because of Tourette's. I can only hope that what I've been trying to say in this video came across in the right way, and that somebody out there with Tourette syndrome can take it and learn something from it, and hopefully find the confidence within themselves to start showing people and telling people, this is who I am, and if you don't like it, then that's too bad. Tourette syndrome isn't who we are, it's just one piece of the puzzle. It's a part of us, and I believe that we're all so much stronger for having it, and we're all better people for having it. So my advice, once again, would be pick your battles, be honest when people ask you, and try your best to educate everyone who thinks that Tourette is nothing but a swearing disorder where all we do is run around and yell obscenities. Because that's not what it is. It's so much more than that, and it's so much worse than that. And I want everybody to know that. And I want everybody with Tourette syndrome to know that we're strong enough to look past the ignorance that surrounds our disorder. And that's all I have, I think, for today. If there's any more questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. Until next week.